Every so often, I hear one particular question being asked by people who want to become performers. And when I hear the question asked, I think I know why it's being asked, but I'm wondering why the person asking it doesn't realize that it's nonsense, especially when it comes to performance. I'm going to share with you the question, why it's being asked, why it's nonsense. We'll do all that in this episode of the VO Heroes podcast. I was in a webinar the other day with a bunch of actors who wanted to further their careers, and a question was brought up that I hear a lot. Now, in this particular webinar, somebody was making an offer of training. And the question that was asked by one of the attendees was, well, what guarantee do I have? And I stopped listening at that point. They could have ended the sentence with that your training will help me, that I'll ever be able to do this, that I'll ever get booked, that I'll ever get any auditions, that I'll get better at what I do. It doesn't matter. The answer is there is no guarantee. And I think I know the reason why people ask this question, because we're trained from the very beginning of our journey to purchase things with having a return on investment and some sort of a money back guarantee. And, when it comes to performance, it's kind of hard to predict that. In fact, it's so hard to predict that anybody who does give you a money back guarantee or gives you a prediction on how long it will take you to get a return on your investment, or gives you some indication of how long you'll have to do something before you'll start to see results, I would question whether or not what they're offering you is going to be true. Now, there are people who offer training and they offer a guarantee, they offer money back if you're not happy, a refund, but they don't guarantee that what they teach you will get you work. They just don't. If they're at all honest about what they're doing when it comes to performance, they simply don't. And here's why. There is so much beyond your control when it comes to voiceover, when it comes to acting on camera, when it comes to any sort of pursuit in performance, that leaves most of the decision-making up to somebody else. You can't align what we do for a living with more normal, more mainstream pursuits, skills, plumbing or contracting or data processing or customer service, or who knows. Those are pursuits that have fairly specific training requirements. They have lots and lots of opportunities. They have heavy churn. People go through those positions and they go leave for another job, or they come from another job. In our business, there are X number of opportunities and a million times X number of people who are willing to do what those opportunities offer as jobs. And so because the supply far is outstripped by the demand, the rules of return on investment and how long will it take to make my money back, whenever I hear anybody answer that, I'm like, I can't tell you that. I don't know what the answer is to that. And further than that, I want you to know that if anybody is holding their hand out and saying, if you just give me some money, I'll make sure you get booked, I can show you the tricks of getting booked. I can show you the secrets of getting booked. I can show you what you're doing wrong that will help you get booked. That's a pretty heavy promise and a pretty difficult one to manage, to follow through on. So, for example, with VO Heroes, with the ACX Masterclass, with other things that I teach and so on, I don't have a refund policy. Actually, what I have is a no refund policy, and I don't have a guarantee. because that's being honest. I don't guarantee that anything that I teach you is going to work, because I don't know how much engagement you're going to give me to what I'm teaching. And I have no control, just like you have no control over the people that decide who gets the jobs. But what I can say is that if you get good training, if you get good support from the people who do give you training, and from your peer group and from your community, you will increase the chances that you get work, that you continue to get work, and that the work that you do is spectacular. But to ask the question that basically circles around, what's the return on my investment? How long will it take me to make my money back? What guarantee do I have? That's a question that you can simply not ask, and just take the time that you would have used to ask that question and ask something more productive. Like, I need this particular type of training. Do you offer that? Will this make me a better performer? You know, those are questions that can reasonably be answered if you engage in the process, if you engage in the training. Because a lot of people sign up for training and they never even crack the book. They never even sign in to the website. They never even take a moment and start a discussion in the discussion group for the class. So, I didn't say anything as a participant in this webinar, but what I wanted to say was, there are no guarantees. Nobody can say for sure how long it will take you to make your money back on your investment should you decide to do this. And you have to be comfortable with that as a performer. You just have to. It's not like if I go to college or if I go to a vocational school and I learn auto repair, how long will it take me to get a job at a shop? That's not how this works. And I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't already know. But just in case there's somebody out there who's saying, you really have to make sure you know how much money you're going to be spending on stuff and how long it's going to take you to make your money back, I just don't have faith that that's an answerable question. I have a question for you, though. When you first started training in the performing arts, did you ask that question? Or did you just rely on the fact that you had it inside you, and whether it took you a month or a year or a decade or 40 years to get your first gig, were you willing to do it? Were you just in a position where you had to do it? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really love to know. And if you know of an actor that would benefit from these videos, please, forward the link. Let them read this. Let them hear this. Let them see this. I think it's really important for everybody's expectations to be reasonable. And it's not reasonable to think there are any guarantees in the world of performance. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I thank you so much for watching and for listening. And I will see you in the next video on the VO Heroes podcast.